Good morning, everyone. It's Natalie. Welcome to my channel, Find Joy in the Journey. Today is Friday, April 11th, the end of the week, so to speak. Um, and I wanted to do a quick garden tour. Let's just say this is my April garden tour. I've placed a lot of new things in the garden, so I want to show you guys that and show you what's growing. That I actually have vegetables and fruit growing in the garden, and I want to take a quick view of that. I'm going to start right over here at the end of this raised bed. It's the L-shaped raised bed that I have right here at the corner. I have my sugar and snap peas. I need to put them on a trellis. I will get a trellis today. I keep saying I'll do it. I need to go ahead and do it. So right here at the end, I have that. Okay. Next to it, I have my carrots. I sowed seeds for Danvers carrots right here, and they did germinate. I use this method where I sprinkle the seeds on the soil, then I place cardboard over it. After you dampen the soil, you want to make sure it's moist and it stays moist. You cover it with cardboard and then you weigh it down. And I did. I placed the these little right there. There's one of them. I put stepping stones on them. And then after maybe a week or so, you check to see if they are actually the seeds are germinating and sprouting. And once you see that, you can remove the cover and let them grow. And then, so, carrot seeds are so small, so I sprinkled a lot. And then I went in and I did weed them out and kind of remove some of them because some of them were like bunched together. So, and also I did cut the lower leaves of, see that plant next to it? And we're going to go to that next. That is my spineless beauty zucchini. And I think you can see from here, I have zucchini growing, but those leaves were so big and bushy, it was covering where my carrots were. So I did kind of cut those lower leaves for two reasons. One reason is to keep down pest, the vine borer for one thing, and it suggests I read up on that because I was concerned about having the vine borer come in and destroy my plant. Uh, it was suggested that you cut the lower leaves, the ones that are touching the soil. So I did it for that reason, but also it benefited my carrots because now I have airflow and the carrots can get a little sunshine instead of being covered by those leaves. But let's go closer over to that area so you can see my zucchini. That's spineless beauty. I see three nice large ones on this plant. Turn where you can see. You see that one? And of course you saw that first one. And then right, let's see, there. And of course that one down there, the little blossoms fell off. And then there's a second plant over there, also growing zucchini. If you can see it, I think there's only maybe one or two on that one. But that is the spineless beauty. I'm going to be as quick as possible, you guys. This is my morning inspection. I do this all the time, and I'm just taking you guys with me. Right here, my mustards. They survived an infestation. And what you see here, I haven't seen any other bugs or insects on there. Those holes that you see in the leaves is from what the beetles did about a week or so ago, maybe 2 weeks. Okay, this should be the end of week two that I had to fight for my my garden because I had a beetle infestation that started in one bed and spread to two other beds, and I had to get on it. So just to let you know what I finally used, I tried garden dust, and it stopped it temporarily, but then when I came back, they had grown in numbers. I kid you not. Something that I think it's called a flea beetle, but it's a tiny little beetle, and they infested at least three of my beds. So the damage you see on those leaves are the leaves left over and the damage left over from that. But I finally got them under control by using 7. I used the liquid concentrate and I was able to get it under control. And it looks like I haven't seen one since then. If they're in there, I haven't seen them. And just to show you real quick, let's look at the back of the leaves. See, that's a new one. That's new growth. But then you're still going to have, and we're looking at the back of the leaves here, no insects, not even a little caterpillar. I did see a snail about a week, a couple of days ago, and I just got him off there. But other than that, we're clear. So I'm really happy about that. Um, but like I said, the leaves that you see are just the little tattered leaves, what is left over from surviving a an infestation. Okay, I want to go back to this side real quick so I can show you my Brussels sprouts. They're still growing strong, nice and big. Okay, I'm gonna have to cut some of those little ugly yellow leaves at the bottom. But I think that's 3 Brussels sprout plants right there. Next to it is countryside spinach, and I've harvested off that spinach, and I like it. It's a very hardy variety. You can tell by the just the texture of the leaf and the size of the leaf. Even the stem is much thicker than there's another variety I'm growing called Giant Noble, and Giant Noble is good. Don't get me wrong. It's just that I can tell the difference, is what I'm saying, in the spinach. That's countryside, and I am also growing Giant Noble, and we'll get to that right here at the end of the bed, and probably too close together and too many, but that is zucchini squash. All right, let's move on real quick, you guys. Right next to it, the other L-shaped raised bed. Right here, I have collards that they've bolted and actually probably starting to go to seed. See those little, see that? So we're done with these collards, I suppose. I'm gonna pick those last little leaves. Those are edible. I'm not, hey, I have harvested from these collards at least 3 times, so they did well. All right, next to it in this raised bed, this is where I had cabbages here. I had stonehead cabbage, and I did a video of that showing you where I harvested those cabbages. Had to do it because the infestation, that beetle infestation I was talking about, it got into this bed also. So I wanted to save those cabbages. I felt they were small, and I was trying to let them grow larger, but they, I made, I harvested every single one of those cabbages, and I made a huge pot of cabbage. I did a video showing you how I cook my cabbage. And so I haven't eaten this stone. I ate that stonehead cabbage for at least 3 days in a row. I love cabbage. I had leftovers. And so we're done. Okay, 3 days is enough. Um, but I just wanted to have one more chance at growing some cabbage. So this is Bonnie's Bonnie's best cabbage. It's called Bonnie's hybrid. I have 6 plants here. Look, I always plant all of them. That comes in the little nursery pack, and there's normally 6 in a pack. Um, and I do that because sometimes they don't all survive. And say if you plant 6 and 4 survive, hey, you did good. But all of them, all of them survived. So, okay, I have my 6 cabbage heads here. It's cabbage plants. Hopefully, they'll turn to heads. Look, and I'll tell you what I'm doing. I'm getting the hang of this companion planting. You see what's in the little those little sprouts right there, here and there? Those are onions. I read up that onions is a good companion plant for the cabbages, so I tried to sprinkle a few throughout the bed. What you see here is broccoli. This is Green Magic broccoli. I've grown it at least 3 times. Okay, and I get to have great results every time. And I always recommend Green Magic if you wanted to try growing broccoli for the first time. Um, I disease resistant. When they grow, when they form the heads, that first main crown, huge main crown, and then it produces lots of side shoots. So Green Magic. Okay, so Yeah, this is I have brassicas in this bed. Let's see if it stays cool enough because these are cool weather plants. Let's see if it stays cool enough so I can actually grow these to maturity. All right, you guys. Hey, let's see how I'm going to do this. Let's go here. Let's go to the cucumbers right here. Dash your two cucumbers in this container, in this grow bag. It's a 15-gallon grow bag. I put three plants, and then I put that little tomato cage there as a trellis, and I am training them to go up the trellis. Look, I have cucumbers going already. I'm gonna have to prune them probably because there's a lot. I've grown cucumbers before. I've grown Dasher 2 and Straight 8, which is right next to it. I have four plants in that grow bag. And with success. The only thing that happened last season with the Dasher 2, I got downy mildew. The leaves took over those poor little plants. I was able to harvest the cucumbers, but the downy mildew, it just completely destroyed the plant. But I was able to harvest off those plants for at least 3 to 4. I mean, huge cucumbers, huge cucumbers. I'm gonna do my best to keep that that downy mildew at bay. I'm gonna as soon as I see any indication of any type of um, disease or whatever, I'm gonna go into action. But those are my cucumbers. I hope you guys can see it. And over here, those are the straight 8 cucumbers. All right. Next to it, we have this is the giant noble spinach that I talked about. So I have two grow bags of giant noble spinach. I've harvested off these at least 3 times, I believe, right here in this raised bed. Okay, that's one of my Vigo raised beds where I first started with. It's a 14-inch. Love, love, love the raised beds. Um, I have my celery that's been in there for months. I planted that celery early fall, late summer, early fall, and it survived the cold weather. It survived snow. I right before the bad weather came, that was my first large harvest. I had at least 9, maybe even 12 celery plants in this one raised bed. See right there in the middle where you see that Swiss char, that wasn't there. The whole row on this side was completely celery. And I did that first large harvest. And then after that, I have been able, with what plants that are left, I have been able to harvest off this celery at least 4 times, maybe even more than that, because you can do it a stalk at a time. Okay, let me see if I can let you see down here. See that? See that one can come off now. All right, and I do use a lot of celery for seasoning when cooking, so I freeze them. You can also dehydrate them. I've done that. Matter of fact, all the celery that I dehydrated, I actually use that during the holidays because that's great in holiday cooking. That flavor of celery, like in your dressings and stuff, it's the best. And that reminds when I taste sage or celery, I always think of holiday cooking or Sunday cooking. That's when you get those hearty meals like that. Okay. And like I said, in the middle there was two other celery plants, maybe even three, but once they died out, I just used that space and planted some fire fresh Swiss char, and I've harvested off that too. In the back over here, there was lettuce. All my lettuces is going. I miss my lettuce, y'all. Right here, I had a bistro salad blend right here, and with the infestation and then heavy rains, it I lost maybe two of the plants, but I had at least 8 planted here. And then after that, I just went ahead and harvested all of the lettuce and, took it inside and just used it, because rather than lose it, I'd rather go ahead and use it, so that's why I removed it. But I miss growing my lettuce. I miss growing my lettuce. Okay. Then over here, Brussels sprouts, more Brussels sprouts, and they are still healthy and strong. I was concerned about putting too many in one area. It's probably crowded, but they're growing so well. Okay, that second grow bag of giant noble spinach. Now I'm going to turn right around. Right behind me is my other raised bed where the mustards are. This is where that infestation started. And I told you, if they survive this infestation, I've had it happen to me before where I had with mustards. My mustards were attacked. Insects love mustards just as much as I do. Okay, and once they started growing back, I told you large, healthy leaves, and that's what you see here. After the infestation, that you can recover. Okay, so look, you guys, I want to encourage you. If you have an infestation, fight for your food. Don't worry about, I mean, I know you try to remain organic and all of that, but if you have to go get the chemical, do it because I used the 7 on this, cleared out that infestation, and as you can see, I have a regrowth. Now, when I fertilize and all of that's going to be good, organic, probably fish fertilizer, stuff like that. But if you have to fight an infestation and use a chemical, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. You do what you have to do. But I want you to see the results. I fought that infestation and I won. And this is the fruits of my labor, y'all. Okay? Here in the center of this raised bed, this is where I was growing my head lettuce or iceberg lettuce. Great harvest. Good lettuce. And then next to it, I had romaine, red romaine, green romaine lettuce. So once I was done with that and I uprooted all of that, I harvested it, all of that. Then I planted my red kidney beans. Finally, was able to get my red kidney beans growing. I struggled with direct sow. When you direct sow the seeds, for some reason, it just doesn't work for me. It's it can work, but maybe you only get one seed to germinate and start growing, and then you have just one plant. So that's what happened. I had a raised bed over there where I have the carrots. I planted several red kidney beans, several, and I'm that even saying several doesn't even amount to what I put in that bed. Um, I covered an entire area, and only maybe one or two sprouted. So what I did is I removed that one plant, and I have a video of that. I removed that one plant, that's that large one in the middle, and I put it in aside in a container just for safekeeping. And then I started over and I created those seedlings that you see. And so all this is from seed, but I had to make seedlings and then transplant them into the garden. Okay, and as you can see, it's growing well. Even that little tiny one that didn't have leaves, I put her in there too. Okay, so hopefully I will, and I have more. I'll show you before I sign off. I created a bunch of seedlings just in case. So I have more seedlings, and if they can't fit in this raised bed, I will place them in another grow bag or elsewhere. But I feel like if you're doing something like beans, you need enough, especially with red kidney beans. Do you know how much I have to harvest in order to have enough to cook? you know, so yeah, I'm growing my red kidney beans. Excited. Now, let me show you this. These are my other Brussels sprouts. I actually have sprouts. You see that? Oh my goodness. I can't believe it. This is my first time growing Brussels sprouts, yo. You see that? I'm excited. Actual Brussels sprouts. And look how beautiful they are. Let me step back so you can really see. Do you see that? They're amazing. They're beautiful just to look at. But yeah, I'm growing Brussels sprouts. You see that, y'all? Yep. That's good. Okay. Back up a little bit, just quickly. These are the sugar baby watermelon plants that I actually planted these just yesterday. I did a video, very short video. I like those. Okay. Um, so I have 3 in this grow bag. Um, and we're gonna see what happens. I think I have. I mean, I've been successful growing sugar baby watermelons twice. So let's see if growing them in a grow bag if that makes a difference. Okay. Next to it is the mortgage lifter. That's an indeterminate tomato plant. I have it in a 20-gallon, and it's doing well. Nice and green. I try to keep that bag um, from drying out, and it's doing well. Next to it, my other tomato plants. That's a determinate celebrity. I had to learn how to stake it. And also, I made a decision with this plant. You see how large it is? With this plant, this changed my mind about pruning determinate plants. I needed to prune it. It was that soil is so healthy. As you can see, look at the marigolds. That soil is so healthy that this thing was growing out of control. So I had to snip some leaves and snip a few limbs. Tried to keep all of the little blossoms, of course, because that's your fruit. Look, we got some growing. You see that? Right there. Let me move my hand. You see? Ah, see, when a determinate plant, and that's why I have several determinate tomato plants or bushes, because um, they grow their fruit, produce them all at one time. They get a certain size, about 3 to 4 feet, and once they're done producing that fruit, hey, that plant is done and you can move on. Either you can grow more. That's why I try to plant in succession because like once this plant, this is the oldest determinate plant I have in the garden. Once this plant is done, it's going to die out. It has a short life cycle, and then you can harvest that fruit and then hit it again. All right, guys. Right next to it is another is an indeterminate, and this is purple Cherokee purple. Okay, Cherokee purple. This is how I'm learning how to prune suckers and how to tie them up using this plant. I've been practicing on this Cherokee purple. Okay, but it's growing strong. All right, look at the marigolds. I'm telling you, the marigolds are just thriving. I gotta get this out. What is it? Look, a spider. He's gonna go. As soon as I turn this camera off, I'm coming for him. Okay, right here. Unless he can do like help me, can that spider kill off any intruders or pests? Then he can say. All right, next to it is a better bush. It's a determinate that I was worried about, but as you can see, it is growing. It's catching up with the other determinants, so I am very happy that it survived. Okay, all right, all my determinants. That's another little plant called Summer Last. That's a bell pepper. It's an orange bell pepper. Right now, it's the only orange bell pepper I have because the other one died out. It just did not work out, so I had to go ahead and up pot it. Over on this side, more peppers. I even have a sweet banana pepper over there. Okay, I'm just trying to hurry up, you guys. All right, that's the pepper patch. All in grow bags, 7-gallon grow bags. But I think this one's a 10-gallon because there's more than one pepper plant in that bag. It's a variety I'm trying called candy cane, chocolate covered cherry. So, and it has like it's multicolored. So it's going to be red, then it has these little dark stripes on it. So that's why they call it a candy cane chocolate covered cherry. And it's growing pretty well. Okay, already fruit on it. Look, and also with that one, with the summer last fruit. So I've been making sure that I'm using my calcium and magnesium, my CalMag, right here, my corn. My sweet corn's doing well. That is peaches and cream, more peppers, more tomatoes. Okay. Ooh, I think it's fruit on this one. Hey, these are determinants. Okay. Over here, silver and gold corn, and that is early golden bantam. All right. I'm going to start going a little faster, you guys. This is a cherry tomato plant, and this is called chocolate sprinkles. Started with one plant, it died out, had to replace it, but that's okay. This one is growing well. Next to it, more bell peppers. That's where that little bell pepper that died, the little orange bell pepper, and I replaced it with a purple beauty. And it looks like it's doing well. Okay, it happens. So I always keep some extra little transplants. Over here with my berries, I have pink lemonade. It's starting to show some life there. The pink lemonade, and then I have the Patriot blueberries over here. I'm gonna put a something to stake them, or put a little trellis in there. Down here is my citrus. This is my two little lemon tree cutoffs. Okay, still growing strong. Over here, that is an approved Meyer lemon. Something's growing down there. I'm gonna have to remove that. Next to it is the sweet Louisiana orange. I have two of those. All right. Over here is my potatoes. Sorry, not sweet potato. I do have sweet potatoes, but these are my regular certified sweet potatoes. I have Kennebec. I have Yukon Gold. That's what you see right in front of me. And I actually decided to go ahead and add soil. I said I wasn't going to add soil because I do believe these are determinate potatoes, and I wasn't going to add soil to the container, but I did. I'm sorry, grow bag. They're growing in grow bags. I'm using a lot of grow bags this season. For the first time, actually. This is my first season using grow bags. So that's the Yukon Gold. Next to it is a red, red Norland. I have two red Norland grow bags. Then I have a russet, Silverton russet, and the other one is Kennebec. Okay, but they're growing strong. Looks really good. Trying to keep their soil evenly moist, but not overwater. Then I have my strawberries, y'all. Look, I have strawberries. I am so excited. You have no idea. And I actually ate my first strawberry just recently. Those two are Chandler, and then that one's called Everbearing. Right here, this is the sweet potato I'm talking. I have some Beauregard sweet potato transplants in the house. I'm sorry, the greenhouse. But this is a variety that I got from like the Walmart or whatever. And they have these little sweet potatoes in a bag, not the grocery store. I mean, in the garden section. And they tell you to put them in dirt and let them grow slips. And I tell you, nothing happened. I let it stay there for weeks and weeks. Nothing happened. So I actually I noticed that the potatoes were sprouting. Only it was six, but now we're down to just two. And I just let them grow just like that. And let's just see what happens. I'm going to put it in a larger container. See, it's in that small container because I was following the directions, right? Let it grow slips, and you cut the slips off, let them soak in water, grow roots, the whole nine. Done it before. It didn't work this time. Okay, so I'm just going to let them grow the way they are. I do have, like I said, Beauregard um, transplants in the greenhouse that I will place in a grow bag, probably today if I have the time. My celery that I'm growing from seed. Okay, the others that I showed you in that raised bed, they were transplants, but these I grew these from seed, and it's actually difficult to get celery seeds to germinate, but I got it to germinate, so I'm very proud of these. My parsley, you can see more strawberries from this angle. Okay, and then my parsley, my curled parsley, that Swiss chard plant that I transplanted because I just didn't have the heart. It was growing so strong. I did not have the heart to just completely uproot it and destroy it or whatever. So I transplanted one of them. And as you can see, we're still going strong here. I think that's it, you guys. We made it. What we have over here, we have more collards. And I believe these are actually bolting also. But I'm going to do a last harvest. Okay. And in the same raised bed is more onions. And then I have my garlic. I have several containers of garlic. Oh, these are onions right here. And my garlic looks pretty good. I have one grow bag over there with elephant garlic. All right. I'm trying to move on quickly, you guys, because we do have a few more things to see. Right here, these are those seedlings that I told you about. I told you I was doing more red kidney bean seedlings. That's what that is. So if they grow to maturity, where I can take them out and transplant them into the garden or into another grow bag or something, there you have it. So I'll have enough. I want enough so I can do something with them. This is Josh's little mess down there. He likes to sit there and pull up the grass, and I take the grass and put it in my compost bin. Sure do. Thanks, Josh. Over here, this is the raised bed that I put together. It's by Vigo. I'm sorry, no, not Vigo. This is Vajiga. This is Vajiga, and it has a trellis, right? Beautiful night blue color. I have over here honeydew. Oh, a blossom. Ah. So I'm going to let them grow up the trellis. So I have my honeydew here, and then I have the cantaloupes. This is not the cantaloupes that I started from seed because they died out. So these are ambrosia cantaloupes that I purchased transplants. So the Hales Best Jumbo, they did not make it. Okay, so I just had to buy transplants, and I'm okay with that. That's ambrosia. And then right in front, and I hope I'm not putting too much in one bed, I have black diamond watermelon. Okay, I have three plants right up front there. And I'm gonna tell you something about those little wood chips. I made those wood chips myself. My husband bought a wood chipper. Okay, and we have a tree in the front yard, and I was getting rid of the limbs and trying out the little wood chipper, and I had those chips left over. I said, you know what? I'm gonna put these to use. Okay, so I'm trying that out over here in this one little 7-gallon grow bag. I don't know. I lost the tag to that seedling that I created. I don't know what type of watermelon it is. I don't know if it's a crimson sweet. I don't know if it's. I was also doing orange tender sweet, and I don't know, or it could be a sugar baby. Okay, so I just left it in the bag. I planted it there, and we'll see as it grows. We'll see what that is. Okay. All right, you guys. That's the end of the tour. Oh wait, no, the okra. Quickly, let's go. All right, end of the tour. Jambalaya okra in that grow bag there. More over here. Looks much better. I was concerned about some of the leaves, but I'm gonna tell you what, the jambalaya grows pretty slow. But this Clemson spineless, look at that. And that was planted after those over there. This is the Clemson spineless and that grow bag also. And I always tell you that, see this area where I have them? It's not going to stay there for long because I have something special coming and it's going to take the place of this little area. So I'm going to have to move my okra elsewhere. Not a problem because I can't wait till you see what I got coming, my new addition to the Joy Garden. I'm really excited about it. Okay, and it's going to help me get organized. All right. All right, you guys. That is my tour. I'm sorry to keep you so long, but I have a lot going on in the garden. And I'm glad you took this tour with me. And also, this was my morning inspection, and everything looks good. So I'm very pleased. I hope you enjoyed the tour. And look, you guys, I want you to enjoy the rest of your day. Bye now.